Dun, 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 dun.
Ambassador Tuvok, welcome aboard the Chimera A.
Ezri Locarno. Thank you, Captain.
How are you doing, sir?
I am functional, even after a changeling tossed me in a closet 3 years ago. After well over 140 years, it is likely there are more years behind me than in front of me.
I see. How is Admiral Janeway?
I assume she is fine, chasing around the galaxy.
We got back from DS4 last week.
I trust General Karen Cinders is fine. Did we have the coordinates for the planet we are going to? It is imperative we get there without delay. I have Kiriyoshi working on engineering in this one. Give me time to take the bridge.
Yes, sir. The slipstream drive is ready, and we can proceed to the planet the DS4 people found on their last mission, without delay. Would you like to see quarters?
That would be acceptable, Captain. Dun, 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 dun. Ambassador's Log, Stardate 2404.5, 80522.1, May 22nd, 2404. I am surveying the nearby solar system, where I've discovered evidence of a spacefaring civilization, per Captain Ezri Locarno's request. Come in, Chimera A. I am picking up a strange energy reading from the solar system ahead. It is an unknown power source, possibly a ship. Something is jamming all the frequencies. There is something out there, a ship of unknown classification. I will attempt to hail it. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. We will arrive at the planet shortly, Captain.
Have Ambassador Tuvok ready the shuttle for launch.
He's already down there, sir.
Tam and Kestra, front and center. Right now? Yes, right now. Cadet Kestra, take the helm. Cadet Locarno, take the off station. Now? Yes, ma'am. Now? Yes, ma'am. There was always a first time. Besides, the ship is at warp and automated. Just don't press anything that drops us from warp. Aye, sir. I mean, yes, brother. Yes, ma'am.
Dun, 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 dun.
Maintain course and heading. Yes, Captain. Still on course for the Kep Terra system. Captain, I'm picking up the warp signature of Tuvok's missing shuttle, bearing coordinates 245 mark 218. Still no response to our hails. Looks like there isn't anyone there to answer them. The comm line is not jammed.
Something must have happened to him. Recommend we get there as soon as we can.
Helmsman, get us there. Best possible speed.
I got it open.
Where's Tuvok?
I can't answer that, Captain, but I am detecting traces of a high-energy transport beam.
So he was either attacked, captured, or vaporized.
I would say it's more like a transporter beam, sir.
I want a full analysis of this thing. I want to know what happened to Tuvok.
We will find him, Captain. Where am I, and why have you kidnapped me, and why do you kind of look like Ezri Locarno?
We are Cillians. I am Grandmaster de Kep Terra, and you have been chosen to communicate as arbitrator.
Who are you?
I am Linda Kim, Sarah Connor, but you can call me Cinders, Grand Orient Master, like a second in command. This is Kep Terra's ship. We have just sat down on the surface of Kep Terra, my planet.
Why have I been taken against my will?
Because we were closest in space, and we needed an arbitrator.
I am Tuvok of the Starship Chimera A of the United Federation of Planets, and I will not stand for being held on this planet. Neither will my captain. She will come looking for me.
Sorry for the inconvenience, Tuvok, but it was necessary to take you. The first arbitrator is dead. You're going to replace him.
And if I refuse?
That is not an option, Tuvok.
There are always options in a given situation, Cinders. What happened to your first arbiter?
He tried to leave us after many years working with us, and we could not have that. So we had him killed.
Will his fate be mine if I refuse to follow you?
I don't think it will come to that. You will see our situation.
I have deduced that I was in the wrong place at the right time.
No, you were in the right place for us. For we took the initiative. Once you discover why we desperately need you, you will want to stay.
My friends will come looking for me. I cannot stay long.
Here I am called the magistrate, and Ross is the leader of the breeders, and the only one to have reached a position near to that of my own.
What title does he have?
Ross is the so-called council head of the breeders, or so he claims. He's arrogant, self-absorbed, and foolish. I loathe him.
It might help my analysis if you could tell me what the breeders did to warrant such hate toward them.
They were born. The breeders are a vicious, insensitive, bigoted people. Peace has been offered. Land has been given to them. But still they want more. We are dying. The people don't see it. I do. It's my job.
Can't believe we're on the bridge of a starship in a Star Trek story. Sort of. Yeah, it's pretty weird. And awesome.
Captain, I've located the ion trail of the ship that most likely abducted Tuvok, and it's fled to a Class M planet nearby.
That must have been one of the planets he was going to survey. He's going to tell me about it. When we find him, I'm sure he'll explain what happened to him. I've never been to this part of the galaxy. Sorry I can't be of help.
That's all right, Rich Everson. Jay Birdman, what can you tell us about the planet?
They have a society similar to the Federation, about a century ago. Spacefaring, lively, and the airwaves are filled with radio chatter. How the universal translator run on the signals?
Aye, sir. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Their language is in the database. They appear to be a colony of Omega Terra. Oh, great. Scan for Vulcan life signs. We know he'll turn up. I bet he's the only Vulcan down there. Tuvok is down there. He's located in what appears to be the capital city of Northern Continent. The inhabitants are called the Kep Terra.
Kep Terra. It almost sounds pretty.
Have we reached standard orbit? Approaching standard orbit, sir. I'm going down there. Miss Pickerly and Mr. Locarno, you're with me. Mahoney, you have the bridge.
Yes, but Captain, what about all the weird people and religious zealots and cults down there? I should be going.
Maybe next time, Mr. Mahoney, you have the bridge. Tuvok's life signs are coming from the building to the north. Captain, the inhabitants are staring. They've just never seen anyone like us before. Maybe they've never seen an alien before. Maybe they haven't, but I doubt it. Mr. Kestra, Tuvok is that way. We have to find out who's in charge. A statue of a woman leader. They have good taste in art.
Halt, off-worlders. You may not enter the magistrate's office.
Drop your weapons, and we'll drop ours. I am Captain Ezri Locarno of the Starship Chimera. We have come for our officer, who was just taken from one of our shuttles.
You're the captain of a spaceship. Cinders will be pleased. Why don't you lower your weapon?
I am the captain, and you have Tuvok. Take us to Cinders now.
I don't get paid enough for this.
What is the meaning of this? Get out, or I will call security, and then we'll escort you out. I am Captain Ezri Locarno. We met your security detail, Cinders. They didn't try very hard. We want Tuvok, our officer, who you people abducted. I know. Tuvok has told me about you. He has a very logical, focused mind. Perfect for the job. What job? You're all right, Mr. Tuvok.
I am fine, Captain. The magistrate was just telling me what she needs down here on Kep Terra. I have chosen to be the arbiter of a dispute between the natives of this planet.
You intend to help those who captured you. Why, Tuvok? You know we cannot interfere here.
They are no longer holding me captive. I believe that I must. I have weighed all the options and determined that I am best needed here.
Cinders, why did you abduct a member of my crew? Our first arbitrator is dead. Tuvok here has decided to replace him.
That is not entirely accurate. Cinders threatened to kill me if I did not join her cause. But when I assessed the needs of this world, I agreed to help, openly. Cinders then rescinded her threat.
This culture is almost as advanced as ours, but our Prime Directive forbids us from interfering.
The Prime Directive does not apply to societies with warp drive. We should be on equal footing, Captain.
I assume that you've taken on the job, Mr. Tuvok. It must be something very important for you to go along with it. From what Cinders has revealed to me, there is a limited war going on here, and I feel confident that I can put an end to it. These people are in desperate need of logic and order. You obviously feel very strongly about this planet.
Cinders, I wish to return to my ship to discuss the problem with my captain and crew.
You may go, but do hurry back. I don't know how much longer we can go on like this. The breeders have weapons and outside help now.
The breeders, who are they?
Are they bunny rabbit people? Because that'd be cool. They're not bunny rabbits. That would be cool. But no, they're renegade forces acting against the society the Kep Terra have developed. We will return to the Chimera for now. Magistrate Cinders, you will refrain from snatching any more members of my crew. We do not need any more of your crew. We have Tuvok as our new first arbiter. Locarno to Chimera, 40 beam up. What possessed you to take on the Kep Terra and their personal war with the breeders, Tuvok?
The Kep Terra are destroying themselves, fighting the breeders. In a matter of 2 decades, bombings, sabotage, and other terrorist attacks have escalated. They will have destroyed one another, by their estimate, in the next solar year.
The city only looked good at first glance. We saw dozens of dilapidated structures, and hundreds of people appeared to be homeless, Captain. There could be thousands, maybe millions. I am not unsympathetic to the plight of these people, but what can just one Federation ship do? If we were back home, we could send food and delegates to the planet, and spend years restoring the balance of peace. But not here. We don't have the time or the resources.
I wonder what the breeders think of all this.
I intend to hear the breeders' side of the story shortly, Mr. Everson.
Oppression affects many primitive, underdeveloped cultures. It seems that we should weigh the issues on both sides and work out a compromise. Precisely why I decided to arbitrate things.
In your report, you stated that the Kep Terra magistrate had the last arbitrator killed for defecting. What makes you think she won't do that to you, Tuvok?
That thought did cross my mind, but I feel that I can be of help as an off-world outsider. They will not kill me because they need me.
I am going to allow you to return to the surface, Mr. Tuvok. But at the first sign of trouble, I want you to beam back to the ship, understood?
I will be careful, Captain.
You have chosen a beautiful planet to try and arbitrate. Good luck, Mr. Tuvok.
I believe the human response is, I will need it. Good day, Captain.
Mr. Mahoney, let's go have a talk with the breeders.
Well, I couldn't think of anything more important at the moment. I'm glad we agreed. Off-worlders.
Another one, really? Excuse me, but where might I find someone named Ross? He lives near this village.
He's inside. Why? What brings you off-worlders to the breeder camp?
We would like to talk with him.
Talk. That's what they all say.
We're not from here, but we recognize your plight, and we want to help out.
Go right in. You look too strange and obvious to be saboteurs. A Faroutian, Captain. Or something very similar.
Well, if he is a Faroutian, then this is sort of a colony of theirs.
I'm the terrible, egomaniacal tyrant everyone's been talking about. A surprise? Well, don't be. Propaganda is not all it's supposed to be. And Cinders, if she had her way, nothing would ever get done.
I am Captain Ezri Locarno of the Starship Chimera A from the United Federation of Planets.
I am Ross Flotter, leader of the southern conglomerate of... Oh, hell, it doesn't matter anymore. Ross is fine.
We're from another part of the galaxy. We were passing through on our way home, and thought to lend some assistance.
I know of people who come through here, giving promises of land or deeds and tricking us. Some come here seeking answers and wanting. They're really looking for profit and land. We are not interested in land or money. We just wanted to go home. I will contact you if I need anything. Fine, let's go, Mr. Tuvok. These are the coordinates. Where's the welcome party? These people are indifferent, cold, and devoid of emotion. I don't like it here. They're ignoring us. Hospitality isn't one of their strong suits, evidently. A central area of some kind is directly ahead. Let's go in that direction and see if they keep ignoring us. I'm with you. There's some kind of main building at the edge of the plaza, larger than the others. We will try and locate the one in charge of all this. I suspect that the leader of these people won't ignore us. That structure looks like it has some cultural importance. Lead the way, Commander. Like the people designing this made it like a Canon Films movie on the cheap. Well, we are hack frauds. We would know. Yes.
You don't even have the goods. How do you expect to do business with us? You can't get something for nothing. Well, tell me how much you were willing to pay.
Land is expensive. There were concerns about the previous owners. They might not be too eager to sell, but I'm sure we can work out a compromise.
I want the land by tomorrow night latest. Do I make myself perfectly clear?
They will sell, and you will have your money. You had better. Am I interrupting something?
I was just making a business transaction, and it's ended.
It is time that we discuss these breeders.
There is little to discuss concerning them, Tuvok.
There is much to discuss. It would appear that you are holding back important information concerning your situation with them.
It's not a situation, it's a fight, and they started it.
Regardless of who started it, I am here to arbitrate.
Of course you are. I didn't mean to be rude, but the breeders leave me anxious, easily annoyed, and never listen to reason.
Illogical generalizations will get us nowhere, Magistrate Cinders. I suggest that we organize a meeting with Ross, the ruler of the breeders, aboard the Chimera A.
He doesn't listen. How can we do that?
On the contrary, Cinders, Captain Ezri Locarno has met with Ross. He seems most agreeable to ending the fighting between your people and his.
He lies.
Do you want help or not? It all comes down to one simple answer. Yes or no.
I pride myself on civilized concerns, like building new schools and homes for the people of Kep Terra. We're not bad people, Mr. Tuvok.
Then you agree to the meeting.
I will. How about in one of your hours?
Excellent. Then I look forward to seeing you on the Starship.
I am Lalantes, counter-leader of the True. How did you foreigners get in here?
I am Commander Mahoney of the Starship Chimera A. We use the civic transport, of course, from the Kep Terra city.
I've never met your kind before. You should go. The True are isolated, and we don't want visitors.
Well, we won't be staying long. Yeah, we only want to talk to you about the Kep Terra and the breeders.
Leave me now. You're of no interest to me.
Well then, let's be going. But we wanted to sell him some of my delicious sweets.
Well, I like your sweets. So do I.
I think you three need to get a room.
Yes, we do.
I do wonder why he's so eager to get rid of us.
They don't like tourists, I guess. But his name does sound familiar.
Maybe that's why they have the city underground.
I just hope the Kep Terra and the breeders are more cordial.
We'll see.
Mahoney to Chimera. 5 to beam up.
I wonder why the True are so eager to get rid of us.
They just don't like tourists, I guess.
Guess that's why they built the city underground.
I just hope these breeders are more cordial. We'll see. The underground people call themselves the True. They're extremely collective. It appears they don't get out much.
Were they agreeable to meet with the Kep Terra or the breeders?
Their other council leader, Lelantos, didn't have any interest in cooperation.
That's unfortunate, but why does that name sound familiar, Mr. Mahoney?
I don't know. I'll have to investigate that, Captain. Captain, the delegates from the Kep Terra and the breeders are on their way. They just beamed aboard.
I thought we were going to transport them when they called.
I know. Neither party wanted the other to beam in first, so both parties transported on their own. So much for courtesy.
Sorry for the sudden appearance, but he wanted to get here first.
She's the one who rushed in here with her guards and took on the dimensional transport.
You know, I don't care who started it. Now stand down. That'd be acceptable, since I sit all day in my office.
She doesn't get out much. Stop that. Gentle beings, please. Refrain from the bickering. Very well.
Castor Pickerly, you may go.
Yes, Captain.
I am Captain Ezri Locarno, captain of the Starship Chimera. I will act as referee in these negotiations. Mr. Tuvok will arbitrate. So let's begin.
Yes, Captain. First of all, I want to know the terms of your dispute. I do not want to know who started the war. That is irrelevant. We will begin with Magistrate Cinders.
The war started for all intents and purposes about 2 generations ago. We had discovered what you call warp drive, and our people were advanced beyond a post-nuclear age into our fusion age. The breeders refused to follow the norm. They did not wish to go out into space. All they wanted to do was stay home on the planet's surface and do nothing.
You are provoking an argument that is illogical.
Sorry. So we went out into space and found alien life beyond our solar system. The breeders accepted the change only when visitors came to our world.
Ross, what is your viewpoint? Well, Tuvok, let me make this all clear to you. The term breeder used to be a slur, an insult, but we adopted it as an honorific. We think about homemaking and having children, raising families, and do not try to impose our will on others. This war would be over by now if Cinder's little book of laws didn't delegate her buying up all of our farmland, strip mining it, or using it up, or making factories on it.
You don't know what to use that land for. Try to be civil, please. Let him finish.
The fusion era began, but we were left out of it. It was our fault. I blame myself that we did not progress into it as quickly as the Kep Terra. So you fell behind technology-wise and lost your land. That is correct, Mr. Mahoney. And then we lost hope somewhere along the way.
Melodramatic, isn't he?
Cinders, why do the breeders agitate you so? Your sudden outbursts are illogical.
They do not believe in progress.
Of course we believe in progress. We just got it slower than you did. Too slow to suit your own purposes. I think it is time that you both really listen to one another. The True were strange, Rich, but in a bad way. They appeared so cold and indifferent, but were frightening just to be in the same tunnel with them. They live underground. There must be something common with the True. I don't think so. There's something more going on here than any of us wants to admit. The Kep Terra are hiding something about their underground cousins, and we should find out what before we proceed. We should tell the captain, even if it's just a feeling. Intuition can save your hide. I learned that a long time ago. And the Kep Terra above ground, what about them? The breeders seem nice enough, from reports. Although, at first, I thought it was another case of oppressors taking advantage of their oppressed. But there's something more. I don't know what there is. I can feel it. There's something to do with the underground. We should talk to the captain. Yes, you're right, Rich. I love that I can come to you for advice.
I think we actually got through to Ross, but Cinders is so mistrusting and very resentful.
She has been at this for a very long time, Captain. We can't begin to understand all the implications of what this peace arbitration will decide here. I think we're doing a good job.
Remind me about that when my seat feels better. I've been sitting for such a long time I can barely move.
Captain, there you are. Mike, Jay, and I have been discussing the situation with Kep Terra.
So have we, for 5 hours. What's on your mind?
It's the True, Captain. Their leader, Lelantos, troubles me.
How does he trouble you? Be more specific.
It's not something they did, Captain. I felt them. Their minds were so organized and driven that they seem to have no individuality. They're cold, Captain. Their leader will ignore us if we attempt to talk with them.
We've already stretched the rules of the Prime Directive as it is by coming here, and agreeing to help these people. Maybe the True simply want no part of this. I can't say I blame them.
I would say that staying out of the affairs of the True would be a very, very good idea, Captain.
I intend to stay out of their way, Mr. Everson.
We could bring up the True and ask the Kep Terra what they think should be done about them. It's their planet, Captain.
That it is, Commander. Thanks for bringing this to our attention.
Of course, Captain. My analysis of the situation with the Kep Terra has reached an impasse. How was your talk with the breeders, Captain?
Not much better. They appear to be the outcasts in this one, but I sense there's something more going on here. There is. We've detected a second race of life forms living in a subterranean channel running between the two major continents. A subterranean channel? Do you think the Kep Terra know about it?
I do not think the Kep Terra are aware of the other people. However, at this point, anything is possible.
I want to have a look at that underground channel.
That Cillian over there looks like Picard. I bet he's the leader.
How do you figure that?
Aye, just a lucky guess. I am Lelantos, former captain of the Pathfinder, now council leader of the True. How did you foreigners get into this city? We used the civic transport, of course, from the Kep Terra city. I am Commander Mahoney of the Starship Chimera A. I have never met your kind before. You should go. The True are isolated. We don't want visitors. A rogue starship captain, huh? Well, we won't be staying long. Yeah, we only want to talk to you about the Kep Terra and the breeders, not the ship you used to fly. Relieve me now, out of my sight. All right then, Mahoney to Kamara, 3 to beam up.
Captain's log. Stardate 4304.6. 80622.1. May 25, 2404. The Chimera A has discovered a planet called Kep Terra in the middle stages of post-warp society. They are secretive, paranoid, and a little warlike for such an advanced society. The planet has 2 warring factions and a 3rd neutral party living under the surface. Mr. Tuvok has been chosen as their arbiter to end the years-long war. We bought that land on consignment for a reasonable price. It belongs to us.
Consignment? A fair price? Sounds like thievery.
Nonsense. I don't need to hear this from you.
Please control yourselves. You are bickering more than I have seen humanoid married couples bicker. The land isn't as important as who is right and who is wrong. I have been wrong before. I've suffered because of it, and I will not tolerate this much longer. Captain, I believe we are in need of a recess again.
You first. No, you stop. No, you stop. No, you stop. No, you did it. No, you did it. You did it. Stop bickering right now. That's better. I've never seen such antics from grown adults. Now, if you have stopped fighting, I suggest you do something to take our minds off the delegation.
I would take a breather. I've nearly lost my voice.
Good, you deserve to. Cinders, that was unkind. Stop being what in 2023 they used to call a Karen. I'm sorry, it got out of hand. I think it might be beneficial if we found a more basic way of letting out your frustrations. I'm going to show you the holodeck, where you both can select the peaceful venue of your choice. Then when you calm down, you can go back to mediation of your dispute.
What is a holodeck? Some sort of recreational or propaganda viewing facility, I'd gather.
Captain's log supplemental. The delegates from Kep Terra are taking a break on the holodeck. I'm hoping that a little relaxation will ease their tensions. Our planet looks like this in some of the wild places. There isn't much wilderness left.
No, there is not. We have industrialization to thank for that.
We seek to feed and clothe the planet. There are 3 billion of us down there, your people and mine.
I believe that asking the question of how is the first step, Ross. Then I guess we're progressing.
Tuvok is very wise. He's the best arbiter we've had. Sometimes you need help if you're going to come to an agreement.
We've been bickering like children.
But you must admit that it was fun.
I cannot stay. My ship must leave your planet in a matter of days. You're trying to get back home to the Academy. You mentioned that.
We are light years from our part of the galaxy. You came clear across the galaxy. Incredible. You've been on this ship for 4 years and haven't destroyed yourselves. We couldn't make such a journey. It would kill us.
Perhaps not. Many humanoid races traveled long distances in space just to get to other planets. You have warp drive and the means to go easily to any local planet you seek. We did launch a slow boat, but they returned to us. It was before we had the ability to move faster than light. That information doesn't need to be revealed.
Our sensors picked up a third settlement deep below the surface of your planet. We know about the True. We thought about asking them to join the talks, since they share the planet with you.
You didn't try to visit them, did you? Why do you ask?
That's very bad. They don't want visitors. We didn't know until we got there. Be sure that we didn't interfere. They told us to leave, and we did.
The True were visited by an alien ship on their slow ship, and brought us ways to improve warp technology. They were altered by the aliens and changed forever. That's why they're hidden. We are their descendants. But the Kep Terra are not, of course.
You have us figured out pretty well.
I am very observant. My species had sent out a slow boat, as you call it, to another star before we grasped the concept of Surik, who was a firm believer in total logic and emotional suppression. That ship was assumed lost, but a century later a war broke out between the Federation and the Romulans, and it turned out that they were the descendants of the Vulcan ship, which was sent out so many years ago. Is the war still going on? No, it has reached a stalemate. A neutral zone was erected to keep either side from fighting. It has been in place for over a century since. Is the war still going on? No, that star was destroyed 18 years ago. They are no longer a threat.
When the True were changed, did they become infertile?
Yes, the ship passed through a radiation cloud, and then an energy beam pulled them at warp to the alien solar system. The aliens attempted to restore the damaged Kep Terra cargo using artificial means. They tampered with genes and cloned cells and transformed them into the True you met.
The breeders are the result of those tests, like space bunnies, and they're extremely social, highly reproductive beings. They are their children. They're genetically flawed, but nobody's perfect. Except for me.
The True went underground and cloned themselves into a society unlike any other we had on the planet.
And now your visit may have doomed us all.
How so?
The True have formed a sect, a religious order that believes that all influence comes from space. They've been spying on us, building up power and extending their reach. They're the problem. We can see that now. Dr. Tabby, medical emergency, holodeck 2.
Please state the nature of the medical emergency. Cinders grabbed her side and fell unconscious. I am not familiar with Kep Terran physiology. Her vital signs are slowing down. One of her hearts has stopped functioning.
She had a heart attack, Doctor?
Yes, it appears that that is the case. However, she also has no pheromones like most humans.
I can provide a scan of a healthy Kep Terran. Me.
This is Dr. Tabby. I'm beaming you all directly to sickbay. I've never seen anything like this, Nurse Gender. Don't look at me. I've never seen anything like it either, Nurse Ellis. The things we fans do together in Star Trek. Well, you should see my film. It makes Cal Katz look like child's play. I got John Delancey to be on it. Well, I don't know how impressive that is. That guy will work for anything. True. I can still find no reason for her unconsciousness. Cinders is dying, but I can find no cause. She grabbed her lower heart, which has stopped, and her upper heart is barely holding on. I want to know why this is happening.
Can you revive her?
Although I have scanned you, Ross, I am still not sure what our stimulant would do to her brain, and I'm not willing to risk brain damage. You said she had no pheromones. How's that possible? Humans do not have pheromones, Captain. They excrete sweat instead, and also apply perfume as an artificial pheromone. I know that, Doctor, but this is an alien, right? Well, I know why she doesn't have pheromones. She is sterile, Captain, completely devoid of ovum. You know, I was born male, but I was altered to become female. I don't think that's what the doctor means. Oh, she's talking about sex, not gender. Yes, precisely. Ross, I'm afraid the Kep Terra leader is a true.
Impossible. Why would they plant her? Why? It just doesn't make sense. Not that anything does anymore.
Ross, you are fertile, agile, and you have pheromones. They're intact. However, you are not a perfectly healthy Kep Terra. You are suffering from some gene damage, which may or may not lead to problems later in life.
The breeders aren't examples of healthy Kep Terra. When the True and the aliens sought to make their children fertile, they experimented on our genes.
You're the only one of your people we have available, so you'll have to do. The breeders were used by the True for procreation. Who knows how much gene damage they've inflicted on you? Maybe they were trying to make space bunnies out of you. Let me know if you can revive Cinders, Dr. Tabby. I will try to save her life. That's the first priority I can afford, Captain.
Of course, Dr. Tabby. What must we do? The True are going to be looking for their double agent, and the people of Cinders City are going to blame the first people that come to mind, the breeders.
We're not in danger yet, Ross. The people of Kep Terra don't have any idea there's a problem up here, and I intend to keep it that way. I suggest you warn your people about the True incursions on your planet.
We're very kind people, Captain, but Cinders may die.
Don't worry about Cinders. Dr. Tabby will take good care of her. You care for her, don't you?
How did you know? It is not something I admit, even to myself. I do care for the magistrate.
Humanoids tend to wear their feelings on their sleeves now and then.
Don't let the word get out.
My lips are sealed. I can keep it a secret. Someone will have to replace her temporarily. You seem like the most reasonable candidate.
I would do anything to help all of Kep Terra kind.
Of course you would. You are their only hope. Just when you thought you'd lost it, you came up with a lost ruler, and now something has changed. What should we call you? You should have a title.
The breeders never had use for titles until now. I am Ross, but my title shall be, what's the word, President? Yes, President Ross.
I will tell you the moment I find anything. I will not tell what is going on. Hippocratic oath and all that. But for now, please leave my sickbay. I'm going to show you the bridge, President Ross.
Captain, we have some bad news and some more bad news. Let me hear the worst of it first.
A large antimatter buildup has just started on the planet's surface. It'll explode in about 15 minutes, estimate. Location, can we stop it, or beam the bomb out into space? The Kep Terra capital city, we can't stop it. It's a stockpile of antimatter. You just can't get rid of it by beaming it out into space. There must be some way to stop it. I'm afraid we have run out of time. The war has begun. Someone has detonated some of your planet's antimatter reserves under the Kep Terra capital city.
Great one, help us. Can you stop it?
We're going to try. Tuvok, what are our options?
The entire first city of the Kep Terra will be decimated. All 30 million inhabitants will die in a matter of milliseconds. Our options are very limited, Captain.
Crass, what can we do to contain the blast? We don't have much time. In 5 minutes, the city will be tossed back into their Stone Age. Chaos, death, panic, and famine will be widespread. I will not give up. We have come this far, and I intend to stop the explosion. Could we neutralize it somehow?
Any matter stream sent into the antimatter would be destroyed, unless... What about protomatter?
Captain, that's it. We'll cancel out the explosion at its source, sort of like snuffing out the fuse before the bomb goes off. Stopping an unstable chain reaction with an unstable kind of matter has never been tried, but it's all we have.
You have to compute an exact protomatter burst. If it succeeds, the blast will only destroy a small area around the explosion site.
It's a lot better odds than we had before. Make it so. Activating protomatter stream and firing now.
Did we do it?
Still reading the same life signs as before. We have neutralized the explosion. Radiation levels. We terraformed the bomb out of existence. Negligible, Captain, but there will be some injuries. I want to make sure that any possible victims are treated for radiation burns. I want them transported to sickbay immediately.
Captain, another antimatter buildup on the southern continent. My people.
Do we have another protomatter burst? It's too late, Captain. It came too quickly.
My God.
Several smaller explosions are happening inside the city on the northern continent.
What about the true? The subterranean lair appears to be heavily shielded.
Can we get through to that lair? Captain, the true shield is down. There are hundreds of people exiting the channel into the city. Life signs are dropping. It's an invasion. They're slaughtering those people. We have to do something. I intend to. Miss Crass, ready the phasers for a localized blanket stun of the invaders.
That will violate the Prime Directive, Captain, even if they are a colony of the Yangs and Coombs.
So did saving the millions of lives in that city. Fire phasers, wide angle now. The invading True have been stunned successfully, Captain. Their dishonor will be paid back when the populace realizes what has happened to them.
I had no idea this would happen.
Neither did I. The stun only bought us some time. Captain, Cinders is dying. I have isolated the cause. An implant inside her was designed to release poison that knocked her unconscious, only if she revealed the true nature of her mission.
I want to go to her, Captain.
Tuvok, come with me. We have to talk. If Cinders can reveal anything, we must know now.
Yes, Captain.
Doctor, are the wounded aboard? I have them. There were a dozen burn victims, 5 of which are serious. I've begun treatment. Captain, during the confusion I couldn't tell you about the other problem we discovered. A fleet of 12 ships from a planet some light years away is approaching. We caught them on long-range sensors. Ross, you mentioned that the True visited a planet. Could it be the aliens they contacted?
If that is true, Captain, then we are doomed.
We are prepared to defend your planet if need be.
Captain, might I point out that we did not come here to stop an interstellar war, or to start one. That is what you will have, Captain. A war will erupt here in space. The Arbiter Tuvok is right. As your volunteer arbitration representative, Ross, I have to weigh all the options in a given situation. It is only logic that has a chance at winning a dispute.
I find that sometimes logic fails us. We will weigh the options, Mr. Tuvok. But we're running out of them. That fleet is fully armed. Together they could defeat the Chimera A. We'll deal with them when they get here. I'm going to see to the wounded. Tuvok, Ross, here with me. Mahoney, you have the bridge. Chief Medical Officer's log. The wounded have beamed up to the Starship Chimera A. They included most of those injured in the protomatter blast and the invasion by the True. Ezri Locarno, Tuvok, and Ross have arrived. The chain reaction was diverted by a burst from our ship. So that's how it stopped. Yes, we defused the bomb for you. I take it you had some warning before the detonation.
We couldn't stop it. Someone sabotaged the reactor. The next thing we knew, we were evacuating. A lot of good it would have done. We all would have been vaporized.
Come back over here so we can repair you.
And Cinders, Dr. Tappy?
She passed away just before you arrived. I was occupied with the wounded.
If only I'd been here sooner. Ross, it would appear that you were now the only one suited for the job of ruling the Kep Terra.
Not something I look forward to. She made a mess of things. A mess I cannot fix easily. Now that I can, it's a lot to ask of an individual. But I will try, for the sake of the planet. She would have demanded it. Can I have a word with you, Captain? In your office? I did not wish to mention this in front of the Kep Terra, but I have examined most of the wounded, and my staff is healing their injuries. I found something quite extraordinary. Everyone that I examined is sterile, like Cinders. I am beginning to suspect that there is something more going on here than we thought. We assumed all of the people with the same problem were true agents. But they're not. Perhaps some other problem has occurred. Could it be the water or the food supply? It had occurred to me to check. No, the planet does not have enough pollution to warrant such a conclusion. Then Cinders wasn't necessarily a spy for the True. I won't know for sure until I remove the implant. But I won't know to remove the implant if their customs forbid it. Should I tell Ross? Tell him that we wish to examine the body and remove the implant. Ross, thanks to your help, We've been able to analyze the implant Cinders carried inside her. It was inserted several years ago, probably without her knowing.
Then she wasn't working as a spy?
No, the implant was merely a timing device. Tuned to precisely a certain point in the future, the implant would have killed her during a critical point just after the explosions on the planet. I don't believe in coincidences.
Had this happened in the city on her job, she would have been killed with everyone else in the city. A martyr for the masses. They would then lash out upon the most likely candidate for causing the blast, my people on the southern continent.
And this happened despite the plan to kill the magistrate. The second explosion was detonated by transmitter. We traced it to a city in the true underground.
The True shielded themselves from the explosions, knowing full well that they would be safe for an invasion. Antimatter leaves no radiation when it destroys. They'd be able to march right into the cities of the northern continent and take whatever they wanted. But your stun beam stopped.
No, that only bought us some time. The war has resumed down there, and it's a lot more deadly than the Cold War we were fighting before against one another.
Captain, there's also the matter of the alien fleet. It will be here within the hour.
We will get to that soon enough, Mr. Tuvok. But Ross, when we patched up the wounded, Dr. Tabby found them to be sterile. We believe that the true infiltration had gone on for years, maybe decades.
It doesn't surprise me, Captain. But what must I do? The fleet is on their way, and the True are killing even their own kind.
And that is for you to decide. Tuvok can arbitrate for only a little while longer. Be assured that we will not stand idly and watch the alien fleet destroy the planet.
We will know precisely their intent in one of our hours. The fleet is comprised of 12 ships. Alone, each ship is no match for us, but as a unit, they will be more than a match against our defenses.
They've taken up a tight orbit around the planet, acting as one. They are entering the planet's atmosphere, Captain.
Then so are we. Bring Chimera A to the front of their London pattern. Let's see if we can get their attention.
Now we're entering the atmosphere. Captain, we are being hailed by the True.
On screen. Your intrusion into True airspace will be met with immediate retaliation. Our alien friends will destroy you, and we shall take pleasure in helping them.
My name is Captain Ezri Locarno of the Starship Chimera A. You were a rogue Starfleet captain, but it will not harm your planet. We are trying to stop your friends from attacking the surface.
Do not deny it, Lelantos. You sent for that fleet. I know nothing of any fleet. All I see is an invasion by newcomers, namely you, Captain Ezri Locarno.
The launching photon missiles, Captain. Full impulse. Get us out of orbit.
No, you cannot run.
The missiles slammed into the alien ships. 4 were destroyed. The rest flew into higher orbit. Let them go. I don't think the aliens will be very happy with their buyers.
Indeed, if the True sold out to their alien friends, then they've committed an act of treason against the entire planet.
The alien fleet has dispatched 1 ship and the rest are fleeing at warp speed. Where's she going? Track her course.
She will impact with the True channel in 6 minutes.
Lelantos, if you can still hear me, I suggest you get out of there while you still can.
I don't believe you. You're an invader. You have destroyed the fleet. There's no ship falling toward us.
In exactly 5 minutes, beam Lelantos to Transporter Room 2.
Captain, that would violate their laws.
We have to do something. Lelantos needs to see that we mean business. The alien ship must also be prevented from harming the planet. The alien ship will destroy the True channel in 5 minutes. Captain, you're not actually going to let them. Of course not, Mr. Tam. Tendi, beam Lelantos up now. We have him, sir. Excellent. Crass, fire phasers. Destroy the enemy ship. Yes, Captain. The ship was destroyed before it hit the True channel. Good work. Ross, meet me and Tuvok in the transporter room. I'm sure our guest is quite angry and won't wait. And neither will we. Captain's log supplemental. The enemy agent has been returned to the planet and apprehended. The operation is over, Jonathan Lelantos.
Barbarians, you let the alien ship destroy our society. On the contrary, Mr. Lelantos, the ship was destroyed just before it impacted with the True underground. Even so, I suspect that your acts will not go unnoticed now. We have monitored a sudden turn of events on the planet. You have won a first victory, but you may find the war not easily won. You live. I assumed the aliens would have killed you. You assumed wrong. Guards, take him away. I am not who you think I am. A changeling. I did not see that coming. Guards, find that changeling
shoot it.
Yes, sir. The war has simmered down some then. Excellent.
The True didn't put up much resistance after their spies turned themselves in to changelings. There is some fighting left, but then again there always was. It appears that you'll have things under control. I'm going to miss Cinders, but as you can see, her face is everywhere. Thank you for being the Arbiter, Mr. Tuvok. And thank you, Captain Ezri Locarno.
Thank you, Mr. Ross. We have a long journey ahead, and so do you.
I think we can get a local Arbiter to fill your position, even if you won't have the same knack for logic. That's true. I am one of a kind here. My people used to use these medallions for good luck on our space voyages. I'm going to continue to guide my people to the stars. We might one day see you again out there. That would be the next most logical step. Even so, there's little chance that you will see us again. We're not going to return to your world. Live long and prosper, Ross.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Ross, there's an entire planet of your people. It's called Far Out. You should visit it sometime.
Another planet of us?
Yes, and one of you is a great chief engineer in Starfleet. His name is Geordi LaForge.
LaForge. It would be interesting to meet him someday.
Yes, Locarno to Chimera, 2 to beam up.
Oh, shit! The changeling. Well, not anymore. Dun, 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 dun.